Hey, onesies, Josh Williams here, and thanks for checking out this week's episode of the One Man Podcast. It's always free and available on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, and many more, as well as on the web at onemanpodcast.com. So please, whatever platform you're listening on, like and subscribe. While you're at it, give it a rating, leave a review. Why? Because it helps the podcast, and I'd really appreciate it. How about that? What about social media? Search One Man Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to keep up with what's going on there, get a little extra content for yourself. And finally, to get in touch, please send your emails to contact@onemanpodcast.com. You send it, I read it on the podcast. That's the deal. Thanks for listening, guys, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode.
I'm K. Trevor Wilson from TV's Letterkenny, and you're listening to the One Man Podcast.
Yeah!
It's Josh Williams, and welcome to the One Man Podcast, episode number 141 for Wednesday, January 22nd, 2020. Welcome back, Woodsies. How you guys doing? This one's coming at you a little bit late. A little bit. Still on Wednesday. Still available for you. Day of delivery. Jesus, sorry. As soon as I start talking with the, hey, bringing it up, I immediately, for some reason, have to burp right away. Almost every episode. Or get like a little hiccup or something. Because often enough, I'm quietly putting together the equipment for the podcast, cleaning up, organizing. So I spend like a long period of time not talking, just working away on stuff, which is unlike me, of course, as you guys know. And then immediately I start, and my body's like, what did it burp? Anyways, just in case anyone else has noticed, I've still got my liners in. Only 1 month left to go. They are still not doing their job 100%. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of correctional stuff after the fact, but in case you hear them slipping, like the ones I have on right now, it's weird. Ever since they redid it and sent me new ones, they happen in weird stages. It used to be that I would wear a set of aligners for 2 weeks and then change them. So when I had the big 9-month treatment, whatever, and my teeth are definitely straighter without question. It's just that one of them, I basically chipped a tooth. And I don't know if I think that was during the podcast, but I'm not even sure if I addressed it. I'm sure I did. But one of my two front teeth, right? The beaver teeth, the buck teeth, the eye teeth, whatever they're called. One of them has always been slightly behind the other one. When I chipped the tooth, the one in the front, they filed it in such a way that the two teeth were level, right? So when you looked at me straight on, the teeth were kind of level. Well, now that they've been adjusted, the one in the front is actually the one that was previously the front tooth. Now they're both in the front, actually hangs a little lower and just on the one side that they didn't file the chip out of. So I've got this kind of a little bit of an angled tooth in the front. And of course, when I originally started the treatment, all the images of what my teeth would look like when they were all done were not one hanging down low in front of the other one. So when that happened, I went in, I rescanned it. I waited forever for them to send them to me. And, I didn't even know I was going to start the podcast off by telling you guys this. I'm telling you the story right away. I didn't even tell you what we got to look forward to. Anyways, when I went back to them, they're like, oh, definitely. And then they approved it, of course, because it's not, kind of what the end result was supposed to be. And then they showed me this thing, you looked at the thing and it showed a 3-month adjustment. And it's showing the 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. And that the first 2 months, they barely sort of move. And then the last month, it's like, oh, look, it's right up where it's supposed to be with the other one. But when I first got my aligners, my teeth fit perfectly into them. Actually, this second set has been kind of I've had at least 2 sets that didn't fit properly or were loose or would pop off. One of them was slicing the shit out of my fucking tongue at the back as the plastic stuck way out. Yeah. And now after a month, immediately the liners, when you put them over your teeth, you can see your teeth are filling the spaces. And then the tooth that's supposed to be coming down to line up with the other one is a little, 1 or 2 millimeters in the aligner. I'm like, okay, so they think my tooth is in there and it's not, it's still up. The other one's still lower. This one's still up. So I'm going to finish the entire thing in case it's the whole, maybe it takes a little longer or whatever before it's actually lined up. Either way, or you put it on, there's some gap and maybe your tooth will grow into that gap as they start to move. So far, none of that has been the case. The teeth are still, the issue that I had, the whole reason I went back to get rescanned is still exactly the same. So they're a little fix up, but it's funny now because instead of just every 2 weeks, I put on a new aligner. At the beginning of the month, they give me this really thin plastic one, really thin, that goes into my teeth for a week. And then you do 1 week and then you do a second 1 week one, which is a thicker plastic. And then then you do a 2-week one. So it's like 1 week set, 1 week set, 2 week set. And then the very next month, it's 1 week set back to the thin plastic one. Like, so it's odd because they didn't do that before in the whole treatment. And now every month it's exactly like that. It's not really making a difference. In fact, the thin ones, like I said, they slip right off. Like I could slip them right off with my tongue on the bottom set now if I wanted to. Anyways, I'm just trying to adjust for a little bit of the throwing and the things like that that's going on. It's because of the aligners. But you got to wear them. I'm going to wear them. That's the thing too. I'm going to give them their fair shake, because if I don't wear them, or wear them once in a while or something like that, well, and then they don't work, well, who have I got to blame but myself, right? So 1 month left. I believe the week that I'm in Scotland is the very last week that I have to wear them. So once it's done and it doesn't work, I'm going to go back to their office and go, okay, it's still not working. We did a whole 3-month treatment thing. I don't think they did straighten my teeth, but they didn't do it, as projected. And it's funny because they're like, if you're unsatisfied, you can get a refund. But the funny thing is they only refund you for the trays that you have left. So if you go through the whole treatment and it didn't work, you're not getting a refund, because it's not like a satisfaction guarantee. They have a refund policy. So, if you basically, some people will be like, well, if you have mine was 9 months. So it's like, if it takes 9 months to straighten your teeth, you get 3 months in, you're like, my teeth aren't straight. It's like, well, no, it's a process. But at the same time, if they only refund you the prorated difference of what you have left. So, you paid $2,000, but you went through half the procedure, then they give you $1,000 back. Be like, yeah, but how did you know the procedure wasn't going to work? Like, you're unsatisfied. What exactly are you unsatisfied with? Like, who doesn't know that it's going to take time at the beginning? You're like, oh, my teeth aren't straight right away. It's not like they jam them straight and then you just hold them in place for, and I don't know. I'm not trying to argue with the person, right? I'm saying that if the only way to get any of your money back is to stop the procedure early, well, who's going to be unsatisfied before the procedure's over, right? It's a procedure. So it's kind of a sneaky thing on their part to be like, oh, we'll give you a refund. It's like, yeah, but it's only of what's left. Like I have 3 weeks left. So out of the 1 year, right, 9 months plus 3 months that I had, I basically started in February of last year and I'm going to end in February of this year. So it's a year. And what would I get back? 3 weeks worth? You know what I mean? I get $150 back. I'm like, and that's even I finished the first treatment. You know what I mean? And it didn't do it correctly. So my thoughts are, okay, well, how do I get my fucking money back? This is garbage. And I gotta buy a retainer from them. So I don't know. I might call and complain and say look, give me my first retainer for free. I'm not happy with this. I had to go back twice and it still didn't fix the thing, because I still want them to stay straight, but I'm going to have to file the other side of that tooth down to make everything look good. I don't look shitty. I think my teeth look way better than they were before. The bottom teeth are absolutely straight, but unfortunately those are not really the ones that people look at when you're smiling. So yeah. You know what it's reminiscent of is in the very first Sherlock Holmes movie, the evil guy had these two sort of jagged on an angle teeth. I don't know if that actor just has that, but definitely in Sherlock Holmes, dude had that angled tooth thing. And I have what one of them looks that way. Even his were uniform, angled both to the side, same direction. But anyways, so this week, guys, I'm going to tell you about my week in Kingston. Just came back from a headline week in Kingston. I've already done my first show here in Ottawa. I did some writing with the comics. I got to spend time with 2 buddies in the condo. It was absolutely fantastic. I had my birthday on Sunday, so I celebrated my birthday. I'll let you guys know what I did for that. This is the last episode before my album is recorded, so I'm going to do a quick plug off the top. I will plug it again at the end of the show. Get your tickets. If you're in the Ottawa area and you want to come see the set that I'm preparing for my album, get a hold of Absolute Comedy, absolutecomedy.ca. You can go on there and you can buy your tickets online. I've got a bunch of friends, bunch of onesies, bunch of listeners who are coming out to that. They've already got their tickets. It's super exciting. And I'd love to have you there. I'm still crazy nervous about this. I've been working on polishing up some old bits. And then, I've got the stuff that I know works and I'm doing that. I've got some jokes that are they're stories. The whole idea is, yeah, I mean, halfway through my promo, I just start going serious. Get your tickets. It's going to be good. These are the last time. There's maybe a couple jokes that I'll let go a little while longer afterwards just to get them, right where I want them. And maybe I'll re-record them, or maybe they'll just come out. I'll be nervous, and I do better when I'm nervous. I was nervous last week in Kingston. I wasn't super nervous last night, and I think that hurt me. I did a spot last night, my first show. I closed the show last night, and was not my favorite set, but maybe it's just going to help make me stronger. If I'm nervous tonight, nervous tomorrow, I got 2 shows left before I record. Shudder just to think of that. I'll tell you guys about how my resolutions are going. I haven't broken them yet. That's right. I haven't broken them yet. But, so anyways, the reason that, so I'm recording my album. I'm telling the jokes that I know, effectively. I will be telling the jokes about my relationship for the last time this weekend. Like I said, there's a few jokes that'll carry over, but they will not have anything to do with my ex. It's been real tough. If you guys heard any of the episodes through the Christmas season, that was rough. I was really rough. I was relatively alone over the course of the holidays. I was sick, and it just sucks. Like, I've been dealing with, we broke up 6 months ago, but we were together for years, almost a decade. So it's not like, 6 months later, you just don't love the person that you loved, anymore. But at the same time, like, there's little things that are fucking me up too. Like, if I'm on social media, like, we don't really talk or anything like that. On social media, I noticed that, I've been kind of, I don't want to say blocked, because I haven't been blocked, but but what I'm seeing has been blocked. You know what I mean? So basically, if I'm on her page, the only thing I can see is things that the both of us were tagged in. So it's basically like I'm limited to something that directly pertains to me, which is fine. And I know a lot of you, the second I said on social media, you're like, you can't do that. You can't look, it's going to hurt. I get all that. But we were being very civil. We were hanging out a little bit, not recently, but when we first broke up, like, we would still, go see a movie with the kids and things like that. Like, we were still very civil. We just didn't talk, we were being, supportive and whatnot of each other. And then I just noticed, I'm blocked from seeing what's going on in her life. I'm like, well, that doesn't feel very, like, friendly. That feels, private. And your first thing is your head goes to, like, well, I guess she's seeing somebody else already. So, and at least that's where my head goes, right? Some people are like the thing is, if she had unfriended me or blocked me, a lot of people are like, well, maybe it's just too hard for her to see you. I'm like, yeah, but I haven't blocked her from seeing me. She's blocking me from seeing her. That's not her. It's too hard to see me. To me, I don't want you to see what's going on with my life. And to me, that says, well, then maybe you're being kind because you're seeing someone else. But it just, again, for anyone who's been in a long-term relationship that ended, I'm sure you can understand, like, it still hurts, when somebody you care about has moved on so quickly. Again, I don't want to be airing too much of my dirty laundry or whatever, but ultimately, conversations that we had at the end of our relationship were like, I don't want to be with anybody right now. I don't think I'm in a good place for a relationship. So the part that hurts is, okay, well then, to be back in one so quickly makes it feel invalid. Anyways, all of this in a very unfunny but vulnerable way. I'm telling you guys, I'm sure anyone who listens to this can hear my pain. What I'm saying is, while all of this is going on, it's very difficult for me to be on stage in my comedy telling jokes about this relationship that I had and, the good times and this and that, stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people are like, well, you'll get over it. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot harder when you're just talking about her in your job at the same time. So that's why it's important for me to shed this snakeskin of this old material. I need to get rid of it. I need to be able to move on. And yeah, so, some of you who are coming, you've been to my shows before, you've heard some of this stuff, but the idea is get it recorded. I can put it out to the universe and I don't have to live through real time. It's out there. I was going to throw it away. Like I said, I've mentioned this before. My buddy Rory Gardner, whose interview episode should come out this week, if not next week. I recorded it with him a couple weeks ago, but anyways, Rory was the one I was just chatting with him one time. I'm like, I just need to ditch this material and start talking about it. So it hurts too much to talk about. And he's like, well, don't throw it away. He's like, it's good material. It works. So record it, build a body of work, put that out there. And then, you can do that. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it out there. I'll have a CD. The world can listen to it. You guys can enjoy it for years to come, but I don't have to say it anymore. I don't have to think about it and yada, yada. Anyways, it's fun. It's funny stuff. It's funny stuff. Come see it. Yay. Looking forward to having you guys. The week in Kingston went fantastic and in terms of working on some new stuff. I will say that. So I got to work with my buddies. What was it? Booking that thing. Another thing that sucks too is, like I said, I'm blocked, and then I see on social media. One of the things that sucks is that because she was such a big part of my life for so long, she knows a lot of the people that I know. So on a daily basis, I'm seeing likes and stuff like that. It sucks because the algorithms just know that we were so involved. So every time she likes something, it's right there. So on other social media, so like I said, I'm getting no love, no support with all the things I got going on. Yeah, I know some of you might be like, oh, for fuck's sakes, just don't think about it, get over it. I get it. But again, it's like when you see when you're seeing the support and love, like she's liking people that she knows I actively are not a big fan of. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of like, that just sucks. It's like, for fuck's sakes. Anyways, I'll get over it someday. They say it takes half the time to get over the relationship as you were in it. So guys, the good news is I only have 4 more years. Anywho, that, or at least tell me the secret. Message me, tell me the secret to just not thinking about somebody you cared about, right? Hey, so when I was in Kingston, I did my first like good writing sessions in a while. And I'll tell you, it really pays off. When you work on something, it fucking pays off. And I worked on my sleep apnea bit. Huge shout out to Logan Avery Cooper. He's a comic here in Ottawa. He's a good friend of mine. Logan was really like, I gotta say, I've never in my life been so supported comedically than I was in last week. And I got huge hats off. And what I mean by that is I have so many of you guys, my listeners, who are encouraging, you're supportive. You guys are amazing. But I mean, like, part of the process, like the production of it, is Logan was sitting with me and writing with me, and we were listening to the sets, and we were, both writing down little notes and what we thought popped, and he was writing with me, and then we'd be at the show and he would be encouraging, and he was like, Logan was hosting. My buddy Tim Riel was middling. And it was good because both those guys did so good that it forced me to work harder, which is great, right? You can't go up there headline and fucking be worse than the 2 guys who were in front of you. But it forced me to work harder. But Logan was like, we was watching the sets with me. We were listening to the next day. We were talking about what popped, what didn't, like, and he had no obligation to do that. Absolutely no obligation to do that. But the level of like support and daily support and continued support and encouragement and everything like that, like, in comedy, guys, there's people who support you. There really is. And again, like Rory Gardner is one of the ones my buddy Mike LeBlanc is one of the ones. The guys in the industry, like, I do have amazing human beings in this industry who support me and encourage me. But just that like day in, day out, and like watching and being a part and giving feedback and just encouraging. This is an industry that people are more than happy to watch you fail and more than happy to even help push you in directions to fail. Cause we're all chomping at the same bit, right? We all want the headliner job and things like that. So doesn't surprise me in the slightest that people would do that, but it's just, Logan was on my side the whole time. Like I can't tell you how valuable that was. And I was even saying to him afterwards, like, nothing against the guys I'm working with this week, but I was like, man, I'd really love for this lineup to have been next week in Ottawa, because this support and encouragement was absolutely phenomenal. So big thank you, big gratitude to Logan Avery Cooper. And, it's funny because I wish I'd been doing this for the last 4 months. It's just the level of encouragement, like I said before, I know that if I write, it's going to make it better, but I was worried that, what if I try and fail? It's fucked up. So I still feel grossly underprepared. The amount of people who are asking me like, hey man, you excited for this weekend? No, fuck no. I'm terrified for this weekend. But I tend to do better when I'm scared. I want it to be good. I want it to be good for every single human being that sits down in that room and sees it. I want the album to be fantastic. I want it to be I want everyone who hears it to be like, oh my God, that was so fucking funny. And the thing is too, like, if I know I have a few tracks on it that, no matter how good the album is, I'll be able to put it some places. There'll be people's favorites, whatever. But, I'm just one of those people, I don't want to put out shit. I want it to be good. So yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited and I'm terrified. So it should be fun. Logan, Tim, and I did an escape room, but we did like a 2-parter escape room. So it took us like 3.5 hours to do it. Super fun. It was a really good way. It was a really nice distraction before one of the shows. We had an absolute blast doing that. Thanks to Tim for bringing that. I did not break my resolutions. My resolutions, of course, were to, this current quarter is no fast food, no drive-through. And again, I explained what I meant by that last month, but it's funny because I had a conversation with Logan this week. We're sitting at the table, and as I was telling him my resolutions, he was going into like the nutritional value and things like that, and how you can have carbs and I just, so again, this is the last time I'm going to bring it up, but he basically showed me maybe one of the blind sides. I don't want to say blind sides, but maybe one of the misunderstandings that people are able to have. So Logan thought my goal was like, oh, I want to eat healthier, so I'm going to avoid fast food, but eat other fast foods. Because like I said, my no fast food, no drive-through is effectively takes me out of, going through drive-throughs out of convenience. And it also, like the reason no fast food is just the restaurants with drive-throughs is because how easy of a loophole is it? Okay, well, no drive-through, park the car, walk in. So the idea is not that I'm trying, because then you go, well, why is Five Guys okay? It's the same thing. You think that burger fries is any better? No, I don't, but it's more expensive and they're further away from my home. So the whole idea is to let you guys know why those goals, or that goal is in the no takeout or whatever, is that if I'm to become vegetarian, I'm going to need to do more meal prep at home. So the goal of the no fast food and then eventually no takeout and stuff like that isn't about health per se. It's about convenience. I'm trying to eliminate cheap, quick, easy. That's the point. So if any of you are like, the guy's a fucking idiot, he's going to not McDonald's, but Five Guys. No, and that's why I'm also saying, I'm not going to say I'm never going to eat out, because that's ridiculous. I ate out twice on my birthday, right? I went out for family in the morning. I went out with my friends at night, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the point is, I'm aware I'm going to go out for meals. But when I wake up in the morning, or if I'm at home, dinner time, it's that I'm not just going to jump in the car and go grab something quick and easy, thus avoiding making food. The more eliminating conveniences I do, the more, meal prep and stuff like that that'll do. I thought I went all of yesterday. It's funny. I thought I went all of yesterday without any meat, completely unintentionally. I just made the food that I had here, but I was wrong. So I had breakfast sandwiches in the morning. I did a Kraft dinner, not bragging, in the afternoon. And then last night when I got home from the show, I crushed a salad, and I was like, oh, I didn't have any meat. I definitely had, there was blue cheese in the salad, a little bit, very little bit. And I'm like, there was cheese on the, cheese and eggs is not vegan, but it's vegetarian. But then I forgot that I did have a little tiny, like, sliced ham, deli ham. I did put a piece of ham on each of the breakfast sandwich. So that's not true. I did have meat in the morning. Oh, I thought I went the whole day vegetarian, again, unintentionally, but I was like, I looked back and I was like, oh, I think I did vegetarian all day. I was not the slightest bit disappointed with my meal choices. But I went to Costco and I bought a lot of good shit. I was looking at the Beyond Meat sandwiches. A lot of people think the Beyond Meat is like super bad for you. It's like the same amount of sodium as like regular burgers, but there's also like a lot of non-animal things in it. So it's like they're still doing studies, but right now it's in terms of like, it's not less less sodium or fats, still fats in it, but there's a ton of studies that say that not having like the hormones and the cholesterol and things like that are still better for you. It's still entirely plant-based. You can have a lot of salt, but if it's the same amount of salt as a regular burger or sodium or whatever it is, like, I don't know. The thing is, the jury's out. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, Beyond Meat's so bad for you. It's not good for you. But when you're comparing a Beyond Meat burger directly to a beef burger, right? Like meat made of meat, there are still benefits to it versus the meat. You know what I mean? If you're going to get the same amount of salt and things like that, like there's no cholesterol in it at all, right? So the things that clog up your arteries, that's in meat. It's not in Beyond Meat. That's better for you. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying, anyways, I was looking at the burgers because they're selling them at Costco now, but I'm going to be working on alternatives. So again, for the last time, my goal for my resolution is not like, oh, if I go and get a pizza instead of driving through McDonald's, I'm eating healthier. I was going to use a bad word. I'm not ridiculous, guys. I'm not an idiot. Okay. I'm aware that a burger one place isn't better than a burger somewhere else. My goal is to cut down on convenience. All right. If I put a burger on my barbecue, the point being is it's cheaper to eat at home. So if I take away 2 breakfast sandwiches for $5 and I can get in my car, have them in my hands 5 minutes later, and it only costs me $5, that's convenience. And that's the thing. If I'm going to go vegetarian, make meals for myself, I got to be spending more time at home doing it, which is why no takeout is phase 2. Okay. I know I can go, if friends want to go sit down and have a pizza somewhere, I can do that. That's in the rules. I can go out and it's a social activity. But the idea is if I'm at home and I'm like, it's dinner time and I'm hungry, I'm not going to order a pizza because I don't feel like cooking. Okay. Because that breaks the fucking rules. If I want to go out and eat, I have to recognize that I'm spending money. It's still going to take me half an hour to an hour to get there, order it, get it, sit and eat it. So yeah, I can loophole myself into oblivion, right? I can still go to a Five Guys and have a burger. You know, it's not takeout. I can sit there and eat it. The whole idea is like If you're going to go there, order it and leave, come home, that's trying to, be lazy and convenient. So my thoughts are, you can cook at home and be eating in the same amount of time as it would take you to go out and eat, right? So hopefully, to put everyone's thoughts and confusions to bed, the goals are not about eating healthier. The goals are about eating at home and making my own food, because if I'm going to go out and eat, it's going to take the same amount of time and cost more money. So it forces me to stay home. But if somebody wants to go out and eat socially, totally within the rules. Except, of course, until I hit that no red meat mark. So then, yeah, let's go out. I'll have a chicken Caesar salad. Sure. Or whatever the fuck, right? You can have other stuff. And then once September hits, October. At the end of September, no more meat. So doing it in baby steps, right? 3-month intervals to just, and I haven't. I have not gone. I've gone through McDonald's twice for coffee, but that's part of the rules. Coffee's not the meal thing. I'm not like, I'll have a meal instead of or coffee instead of a meal, right? So getting these fucking things done. But that's where it is, in terms of the making the sense. So if someone's thinking I'm an idiot, well, you're right about other things, but it's, the goal isn't about the meal quality. The goal is about the prep time and the work. So I bought some stuff at Costco today. I bought some salads. I bought, a bunch of yogurts and probiotics and things like that. So, this morning I made a single breakfast sandwich because I had one bagel left. So single breakfast sandwich. I had an almond yogurt, which I'll be honest with you guys, I don't love. It's not dairy, so that's a plus. But I think I'm going to be looking for, like, again, I will not go vegan. I just can't do that yet. I like cheese and eggs too much. Maybe once I'm vegetarian for a while, I can start dabbling in some vegan options and just see how much I'm interested in doing it. But, for now, that's the way it is. So let's finish up the Kingston stuff. One of the nights after the show, Logan's like, you guys want to get some McDonald's? And I'm like, we can get a pizza if you want. I go, I don't do McDonald's anymore. No stuff. I'm holding strong, guys. I really am. And, that's not to say that, like, I wouldn't love it. It's funny because one of the times I went to get coffee in the drive-thru, I pulled up my app because I have a free coffee on the app, and it was like free fries from, the Raptors scored or whatever it is. So you get free French fries. So I said, yeah, well, give me the fries and I'll just bring them back to the condo and give them to the fellas. So I brought them back for Logan. So again, still cheap at times. I'm like, hey, if it's free food, give me the free food. I just won't eat it. Right. So, and I didn't pick 1 or 2 fries and go, no, I didn't. I did not touch it. Grabbed the bag, brought them in the front door, set them on the end of the table. And that was it. One of the shows in Kingston, the shows were great. Again, working on the material, everything like that. One of the nights, I recorded every set too, so they're all available start to finish. I've been using them to listen to and work on the tightening up the jokes that are, not as strong as the others. And one of the shows, I think it was the very last show that we did. Am I crazy? Maybe it's Friday night. Anyways, there was a gentleman in the crowd, front row, who, when we were talking to him, when we started the show, I go up and I'm like, hey, how's it going, guys? And I started to talk to one of the guys at his table. And this guy the one I was talking to, he just seemed like he was a little drunk. And I started asking him questions. What are you drinking? He holds up his drink and he's got like a plastic cup, looks like it's full of Coke. And he was speaking a little slowly and his demeanor was a little drunk. And they're all Kingston boys. So they look like they're dressed in a fucking fishing hat and a hoodie, or if not a camo jacket or whatever. So they're all little good old boys. And this is the end of the show. They've been drinking all night so far. And when I started talking to the guy in the front of the table, starts chatting with me, and he seems drunk, and he was drunk. Sorry, inebriated. He wasn't hammered, but he'd been drinking. And he starts talking to me, and I'm like, okay. And I'd ask him a question, he'd answer it, and then he would start to answer really long questions. I'd start talking, I'd ask him something else, he'd just not answer. And I was playing it off, like the crowd was enjoying it, but I'm kind of like playing it off. And then I'd start to try to go into my act or whatever. And the guy would keep saying things to me, and I was like, all right, man, we gotta move off of this. I go, you gotta stop talking. I go, if I ask you a question, you can answer it, but I'm not. And then I said something, and he said, so yeah, well, cause blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, that wasn't a question. That was a statement. There's a difference. I go, my voice will go up at the end if it's a question. And again, like I said, the crowd enjoyed it. And here's the thing. I've been recording everything, guys. So I actually have that recording. I can play for you that interaction. But I if you want an interaction, so do I. And the interaction I want is I want you guys to email me or email. Email is what I like. Contact at onemanpodcast.com. Send me an email. All right. I was saying I need your guys' top 10 food lists. I got a couple people sent them, and I'm very grateful for that. I need your top 10 meal lists. If you're going to have, meat for the last time, meat lists. If you're going to have meat for the last time, what would the meats that you would want to have be? And it's very important that meat is the headliner of the meal. All right. So for example, I did have my good buddy Cam. I chatted with him, had a conversation with him. It was great. It's nice catching up with him. Cam was saying to me, like, hey man, you got to mention the cup and char. You got to have your last cup and char pizza. Now here's the thing. Cup and char is like a kind of pepperoni. It's like a little spicy pepperoni. My buddy Jad and I had it when we were at Cam's house in December. And it's phenomenal. And it is a meat that I will not be able to have, when I hit my finish line there of June. But the thing is with the meat, I think actually pepperoni is mostly pork, is it not? Counts as a white meat, right? Either way, I'm not trying to extend it. All I'm saying is that like I'm going to hit my goal. Is that meat meal, while yes, pepperoni is meat, the meal is pizza, and you can order pizza without pepperoni. So like in terms of like having like my last pepperoni pizza, like no, yes, it'll be the last time I have that pepperoni, but that pepperoni isn't the headliner, right? The pizza itself is the headliner, the cheese and the sauce and the bread. So in terms of what I'm talking about, like if you were to have your last piece of fried chicken, right? The last time you're going to eat fried chicken, the fried chicken is, you're not getting, if I was like, I'm letting go of carbs and I had breaded fried chicken and the next day I could just have regular fried chicken, without breading. It's like, oh, well, I mean, you can't really fry it without the breading, but you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm suggesting, guys, is that the list is like, think of something like a Montreal smoked meat sandwich. All right. The smoked meat is the headliner of that sandwich. If I was going to have fish and chips, like, yes, I can have fries again, but come on, the fish and chips, it's not fish and chips. You don't even call them chips when it's not accompanied by fish, right? So those are the meals that I'm looking for. Last time you have ribs, last time you have a nice, a sirloin steak or filet mignon. That's what I'm saying. So send me your top 10. I'm going to do some honorable mentions, like, hey, bacon is great, but even bacon's great, but it's not a meal in and of itself. Right? You don't go somewhere I'm going to go somewhere for bacon. It's basically like you put it on a cheeseburger or you crush it up and stick it on a salad or just sits next to your eggs. So yeah, I might even do like a whole, I think I might do like maybe a meat lover's pizza would be a good example, but even still, you're gonna have pizza again. It's too much, and I'll have all those meats in different capacities, but like chicken wings is a perfect example, right? The last time you have chicken wings, where are the best wings? It's, that's clearly you're never going to have that on its own. You might have like the broccoli shit, or not broccoli, cauliflower stuff. Anyways, I'm talking about this too much. The list, send me your list. But speaking of this event that I had with the guy, I want that contribution from you guys. If you want me to play for you this interaction I had with this guy, send me an email saying like, hey, can you play us the clip? And I will pull it off the phone. I will edit it, and I will edit it in terms of like the whole set. I'll take this interaction and I'll put it on an upcoming episode for you guys. But what ended up happening afterwards, after the show, this guy came up to me right away. Like we were sitting in front, he came up to me right away and he's like, hey man, thanks for such a great show. I just wanted to explain what happened. He's like, I'm sorry, I was interrupting you and chatting with you. I was trying to pull the attention off of my brother, because my brother, who you were talking to with the cup there, has special needs. He's like on the spectrum. And if you kept talking to him and cracking the jokes about how, like, if you're drinking Coke, why do you seem like you're drunk? He's like, he would get embarrassed and he would start crying. Like, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad you did that. I go, thank you. I couldn't tell at all. And I would that would break my heart if I mortified someone like that. So I couldn't do that. And I'm like, I'm glad you did that. And he goes, yeah, so that's why I had to like do what I did. And I was like, well, in all fairness, at one point I wasn't talking to anybody and you did keep talking. So I go, I'm glad you pulled, that was very kind of you. And I'm glad you pulled the attention off of your brother. So, thank you. But I mean, at the same time, you can also notice that, I was moving on and I couldn't. I go, so you were keeping the focus at your table. You want me to move away from the table? You pulled off your brother, it was me and you, and then I tried to move on and you wouldn't let go. So I go, maybe a little like, you were drinking and at the same time you initially did it, out of courtesy for brother. I go, but I can understand why you did what you did, and maybe it just went a little longer because you didn't realize that he was safe. So I go, again, I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. It's very kind of you. And then he was staying at the table for a while and he was drinking and he was buying drinks and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, but his brother was there also saying hello and stuff like that. And I remember at one point he's like, man, can I pay you money to just tell my brother that you were like, you had a good, like, say hello to him. I go, you don't have to pay me to say hello. I'm like, I'll say hi to him, and I appreciate that. So his brother came over, and he's like, hey man, you guys were really funny tonight. I was like, hey man, you were great too. Thanks for coming out and all that fun stuff. And he's like, yeah, I've come here a couple times before, and I try to say hi to the guys after the show, and they're just like, I just didn't feel like, they made me feel like I was annoying and like they wanted me to leave, And he's like, I just wanted to say, I like it. It was really funny, and I had a good time. And he goes, and you guys are being really nice and making me feel really good to do that. I goes, yeah, no, absolutely, man. We're glad to have you, and thank you. I'm sorry that you had a bad experience before, and you were great. Thank you for coming. I hope you had a good time. And we were just chatting with him a little bit, and I didn't notice that his brother had kind of like stepped away because he was standing off to the side, and his brother stepped away. When he came back, his brother had clearly had like tears in his eyes because, I guess it was that important. Like, I don't know what their story is and what their struggle is, and that's another reason, to be good to other people. Again, my goal, I've told you guys previously that my goal when I'm doing crowd work is never to hurt anybody's feelings. Like I said, if I try I try to make fun of things that people can change. I'll make fun of your clothes, or I might tease your job, but I'm not going to make fun of a guy for being bald or fat or anyone with clearly a disability. I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to ruin your life. I don't care if the rest of the crowd's loving it. I'm not going to put you through that, for that laugh. That laugh is not worth it to me. Yeah, but like I said, I couldn't tell. I was teasing about the slow speech pattern and everything like that because I thought it was funny because he said he was drinking rum and Coke, and then when he held up his glass, I'm like, I've never seen it served in that, whatever. So, maybe it's his brother telling him like, yeah, you got one right here, buddy. You enjoy. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Fuck. I don't know. But his brother was happy to see that, that we were chatting with his brother and, had a good time or anything like that. It was good. I like doing good where I can, guys, and being kind where I can. That doesn't cost me anything. And the worst was he's like, I'll pay you. I'm like, oh my God. Like that broke my heart. It's like, you shouldn't have to pay someone to be kind to someone else. You know what I mean? Because then it's not kindness. It's a transaction. Anyways, so that was that. Send me an email if you want to hear the conversation on stage. I haven't listened to it, actually. That's the one. I do believe that was the very last night because I haven't heard that conversation since I left. I haven't listened to the last show from Kingston. I did get back very late. It was snowing really bad on the way back. I got home, and when I went to unpack the car, when I got back to Ottawa at like 1 o'clock in the morning, the back of the car was like covered in fucking snow, like it had been spray foamed covered. It was thick, dense snow. And I popped open the car to get the shit out of the trunk. And when I closed it again, everything seemed fine. I couldn't get it to like lock properly. And then the next day I went to open my trunk and it wouldn't open. So all day Sunday, I apologize, I was having issues with the trunk. And Sunday, by the way, the reason I drove home at night in a shitty snowstorm was that I had plans on Sunday. So I got myself a spot at Absolute Comedy. So that evening, my birthday on Sunday, I was going to be performing at Absolute Comedy at 8 o'clock. Get another rep in before the show starts. I actually was supposed to do a show on Monday night too that got canceled because there was nobody coming. It was out a different location, but disappointing, guys. I would have liked the money and B, the one more rep in. Don't skip leg day when you're stand up. But come on, brain. I'm still sipping things. I'm looking at the lists I have on the table here of the shit that I have to do. Oh, it's stressful. What time is it? 2:46 on, what do you call it? Wednesday. So it's late. It's coming. I'll hope to have this thing up and ready for everybody by 3:30. I also have to get my ass in gear because I want to go fucking write. I really need to write. Logan's going to meet me at the club again. So again, another tip of the cap to Logan Avery Cooper, just being super supportive. But yeah, so my plan on Sunday, during the day was to go have brunch with my mom and my brother, his wife, and their new baby. So when we had lunch at Tucker's Marketplace, and I'll tell you guys, I feel the results of the not eating. And in fact, when I was in Kingston, I found myself not eating breakfast right away. Like we were sleeping a lot, getting up around, I don't remember what time. Sleeping, not at least I wasn't getting up and active until about noon. But I was also awake until like 4 or 5 a.m. It's funny. I was just not eating. I would order breakfast or something. Actually, I've never ordered like the online, Uber Eats, skip the dishes. I've never really been a big fan of those because they suck. But I remember one of the nights late, I ordered us pizza. Again, it's not a break of the rules. Ordered us pizza. We ate that. And then it was they sent us 2 pizzas. One of them was absolutely garbage. If you've ever gone to the grocery store and you buy like one of those frozen pizzas where like the dough sucks, there's not very much cheese. The pepperonis are like really bad processed meat. This was like you took it and you put one of, like, no word of a lie. Guys, this is the best analogy that I can come up with. It was like you took one of those frozen pizzas and you put it in the oven for 5 minutes. So it's like it's warm, but it's still kind of really doughy. The meat's not cooked at all. The cheese isn't cooked at all. It was garbage. So it asked me if I was satisfied, and I said no, not with. I go, the regular pizza was too expensive, $40 for 2 pizzas. One of them was like a medium, and it was like medium pepperoni, and then like a 4 whatever. Fucking, that's way too much information. All I'm saying is the pizza's shit, and so I said like, hey, I didn't enjoy it. They refunded me for the medium pizza and gave me more credit with their company. So the next day I ordered breakfast with it, and it was good. It was good. Breakfast was good. But yeah, I was not waking up and eating right away. I was waking up and waiting a few hours, and I wasn't eating, I stopped eating at like 7 or 8 but about 8:30 when I would get my meal, right? The show would start. I'd eat my meal at the club, and then I'd go home and not eat. Another hats off to Logan. Logan brought a few different bottles of whiskey. We had oh my God, drank some fucking whiskey in Kingston, man. Was I ever a happy camper? Yeah, it was nice. We didn't get shit faced, but it was nice to sit in the evening and sip on a whiskey. We watched a lot of Impractical Jokers. Definitely suggest that. It's on Netflix in Canada. I'm sure it's available even more plentiful in the US, and I know it's huge in the UK too. So, enjoy that, guys. Just a funny little prank gag show, but well worth your time, and and it'll make you laugh. So we were watching that. We were sipping on whiskeys. We were having a good time overall, doing escape rooms. So as I mentioned, Sunday morning, I went to have a breakfast brunch buffet with my brother, my mom, his wife, and the kiddo. And I didn't eat a lot. I think I sat there, even when my coffee came, I sat and I drank my coffee, and we let my brother and his wife go up and get their meal first, just so someone could watch the kid and all of our stuff at the table. And then they were sitting, they were eating. And by the time they were done their first plate, I decided, okay, well, I'll go get my first plate. So normally I'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm hungry. This is like, I think by 1:00 in the afternoon, I maybe went and got my first plate. We were there for like noon. So we were there for a while. We were there at noon. I didn't get my first plate till like 1. So again, odd for me. I think just from eating less, I shrunk my stomach some, and then once I ate my first meal, first plate, I waited a little while, and I think I got a second plate, and I ate maybe half of it. So I was full. And then I was barely into the second plate before I was like, I'm getting full. But you feel like you want to get your money's worth. So I did that. I ran some errands with my mom afterwards, and that's when I was figuring out that the latch on the back of my car wasn't working. I was constantly getting notifications that the tailgate's open, but it's not. I couldn't open it. I was unlocking it. It wouldn't work. But I got some groceries and things like that. And to be honest with you, I was happy to just not be focused on writing. I was happy to see my family. It was my birthday. Fuck, I can fuck around on my birthday, right? So, sorry, I'm getting notifications and messages here. Yeah, I had a good time on my birthday. The fuck is that? Did you guys hear that? My ear just popped and I didn't know. Yeah, so I basically, and then I came home. I had a meal with my buddies, Jimmy, Mika, and Jay, my closest friends in the world. They took me out for a steak for my birthday. It's funny too, because I was still pretty fucking full. Normally when I go to a steakhouse, I'm like, oh, they got like an 8-ounce steak or a 12-ounce steak, let's say. And I'm like, no, I want the extra steak, I don't want to pay more for it. I just want the bigger steak, because I'm usually like, oh, I'm hungry by that point, right? No, I'm going out for dinner steak, but I was still full from lunch, and we got together for 6:00. And at first I was like, 6:00, it works better for them. They all have day jobs in the day. And then I realized, I'm supposed to be at Absolute by 8:00 to do my guest spot. So we only got an hour and a half together, and it went by so quick. But it was amazing to see those guys, and they got my dinner for me, which was nice. I wasn't expecting it, and I was surprised because I asked the woman for the bill. Mika went up to go to the bathroom, and I can't believe it didn't occur to me that he was going to do that. But I was so busy focused on what time is it, and is she coming with the? I was literally going, is she coming with the bill? While Mika's going to the bathroom, not realizing, oh, he's slick like that. But I'm going to make sure going forward, I'm making a mental note. And we had a good time. It was good seeing my friends, and I'm really bummed out I didn't get to spend more time chatting with them because those guys are the real deal. You know what I mean? They didn't meet me because I'm a comic or anything like that. Like those guys weathered the fucking storm of just, you know, me figuring out how to be funny and to turn obnoxiousness into, you know, a form of charm. They're good friends. I love those guys, and I'm disappointed that I didn't get to spend more time with them, but I'm trying to be a professional here and grind out as many fucking spots as I can. So that's what I was doing. That's what I did that night. It was great to see them and great to have a meal with them and know that they're doing well. And we'll hang out again soon. Mika's coming to the shows on Saturday, and Mika still listens to the podcast. Thank you. And I know that his lovely wife Mel listens as well, and she's coming. Thank you, Mel. Looking forward to having you there. My buddy Chris, who's co-hosted with me several times, Chris will be there on Friday night, I believe it is. So again, I'm super excited to have my friends there. It means a lot to see them. It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking great. I was chatting with Red this morning. So my listeners, I chatted with Cam this week, which feels great. Like I got my buddy, you know, he's in there and I had a chance to chat with him before the show and he wished me, you know, well wishes. I chatted with Red this morning. It's funny too, because Red, I was telling her when I ate vegetarian yesterday. It was on my conversation with her that I realized I had meat. I was like, no, I had ham. I was cooking my breakfast this morning. And when I pulled the ham out of the fridge, I'm like, oh no, I had ham yesterday. It wasn't all vegetarian. But she, I was telling her I had like Kraft dinner. She's like, oh my God, it's so bad for you. And I go, yeah, I know. The plan is not, again, it's not about the healthy food. It's about making it at home. I was at Costco and the fucking 12 pack of KD or whatever was on sale. So I bought it. And she was telling me that like, she's like, yeah, it's so bad for you, all the chemicals and stuff. She's like, you know what we do now is we go to Bulk Barn and we buy like, you can buy just the cheese powder that you put on it and we just get our own pasta. I'm like, oh, it was the pasta that you took issue with? To me, it would be that like fucking fluorescent nuclear cheese sauce that you put on it, which is delicious. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, to me, I wasn't worried that like, oh, is this bing? I think it's the computer and the phone simultaneously giving me fucking notifications. You already told me about this. Leave me alone. I do not want to work this fucking event. So yeah, I might actually do that. Cause again, I don't really I'm not in love with the little thin KD noodles, but I would definitely, you know, fuck up some KD sauce on like some nice penne or something, you know, but then what's the ratio? Right? Like depending on how I do it, like I feel like that's too much power. Having your own Kraft dinner powder. Would that work on popcorn too? Like if you just dusted some popcorn with it, would you get the fucking KD? That'd be a weird taste. I don't know. I could do it on like, I could really amp up the taste of some of this like chickpea pasta and stuff like that. If I put like the toxic Kraft dinner powder on it. It really does make like, I was buying for a while. They're more expensive, but I was buying like the Annie's, like Kraft dinner stuff. Cause it's organic or at least, you know, more organic, but it tastes weird. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's the powder that tastes weird or if it's the pasta. Cause I've had weird tasting pasta before, but Annie's stuff tastes fucking weird. So I might experiment with it. I might use a box of Annie's and then put some Kraft dinner powder on it. And see if that's it. And then I might take the Annie's powder and stick it on some Kraft dinner. There you go. I'll swap the stuff and we'll see which one tastes weird. And we'll know what the culprit is. Is it the powder? Is it the noodles? Because I could definitely use the Annie's powder. You know, I'd basically just throwing out the pasta, but I could use the Annie's powder on different noodles if that's what's making it taste weird. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know the Annie's, the one with the stupid little rabbit on the front. Something about it tastes weird. I ate it because it was good for me, you know? I mean, fucking vegetables, some of them taste weird to me, but you know, you're like, it's good for you. Like, okay, right? Eat kale. It's best. It's the most amount of protein per ounce that you could possibly get it of anything on this earth. Then you find it out it's got that one good thing, but then it's also got like it causes hypothyroidism or something like that, apparently. So like you just can't win. So if you're going to die from something, die from what you like. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to die because, I'm still eating eggs and there's cholesterol, but if I just have eggs at breakfast, that should be okay, right? Once in a while, I'll put a little bit of cheese. You can't do those bacon bits. The simulated bacon bits made out of soy, those are gross. They really are. And it's basically just chunks of sodium. So like, I don't want that shit. Yeah, whatever. So I've told you guys some stories. Anyways, the amazing team at my dealership. Again, I don't name them, not because I don't want them to be popular. First off, I'm in there so fucking often that the more popular I make it, the harder it's going to be for me to get my preferential treatment. But those guys are fucking amazing. I went in there on Monday sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Again, thank you to Jimmy, Mika, and Jay who brought me out in the evening. I'm sorry I had to run off. I went and I did the show. Show went well, so I was happy that I did it. But Monday morning, I got, there's a bunch of shit that happened. I can't fucking remember what the hell it was, but I had a busy morning yesterday. I went to the dealership. They took a look at what was going on for me, and they were like, cool, they'll order the part for you. Basically, the latch on the thing was busted. So, they ordered me a new one, and Josh, the service guy there, was like, hey, as soon as it comes in, I'll give you a call. Appreciate that. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, it was ready yesterday. I went in yesterday and I got the latch changed, and I was chatting with them. And they've all made reservations. So all my buddies, Narong, who's an old high school friend who sold me my car, Josh and some of his members from the service team who are always fucking amazing. And, we laugh. I drop them off tickets every now and again. They are all coming to see me, this week. So, huge shout outs and thank you to them. Not only did I go in, get my issue resolved, they had the part for me and serviced the next day. Absolutely amazing. Like everything's good to go. I'm stellar, man. I'm super jazzed. So the car's working again. I did my spot last night, or I closed the show last night on Tuesday. And, unfortunately, it did not go as well as I would like to. So all the old jokes went fine. They did their job. We got the laughs, and I did some crowd work that went well. I got the laughs. However, the one joke that I've been working on, and it's a longer bit, and that's the risk with longer bits is you end up with lulls in the joke. Did not go as well as I would have liked. So you know what? We're gonna do some writing this afternoon. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna get there. Holy fuck with the emails. Give me a goddamn break. So yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm going to put this podcast together for you guys, have it out for you. If you haven't, again, last chance. Some of these jokes I'm telling for the last time. So, it's live, of course. You'll hear them on the, satellite radio or something like that, and you'll be able to pick up the album. I'll have that available to you guys. But, yeah, if you want to hear me tell some of these jokes live for the last time, it's my body of work from the last while. Would love to have you there. And I'd feel better in a room full of people who I know that if I fucking shit the bed, I don't expect that's going to happen. I'm just worried, right? The more worried I am now, the more I know I'll be okay on the days of. It's just the curse of the artist, never satisfied with anything. So this is it, guys. Last reminder to call Absolute Comedy in Ottawa or go to their website, absolutecomedy.ca, and book your tickets. Friday and Saturday shows are the ones I'm recording, but you can come see me any night this week. Would love to have you there. And like I said, I'd love to get your top 10 lists. If you had to give up meat forever, what are the 10 meals that you would make sure that you had prior to that? And if you want to hear the interaction that I had with the gentleman and his brother, send me an email, guys. The email address is contact@onemanpodcast.com. I will be so glad when I stop slurring my speech because of these fucking Invisaliners. And that's it, guys. I'm going to put my head down and get this fucking week over with. The next time I talk to you, I'll tell you how everything went. If you make it out of the shows, you'll know how, you'll know at least how the show you were at went. But, until then, I hope you guys have a fucking fantastic week. The second I am done these recordings, I immediately hit the ground running on 2 other projects, which again, as things develop, I can tell you more about. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. I look forward to hearing from you. Please be good to other people. Because again, I'm not trying to make this a motivational speech thing, but just, you never know what somebody else is going through or maybe why someone's acting the way that they are, But, if you meet a situation that you're not really familiar with in a hostile way, you don't know what kind of, you don't know how bad you could ruin someone's day or whatever it is. So I got a couple little events coming up this week. I got some people coming out. Oh, I put myself on the dating apps while I was in Kingston. And I got to be honest with you. I don't like writing about myself, and I truly, sincerely am not interested in meeting anybody online. Truly, it's weird. It's uncomfortable. I don't like texting to begin with. The amount of like bullshit that would come from me texting in my relationship. I don't mean other people, just being able to communicate effectively via text. I'm a comic. If I could write the way I talk, I'd be an author. But I can't even, I told you guys about that. I can't even, writing my jokes out doesn't work the same way as me just sort of telling them and seeing what the reaction is. So it's horrible. But I did think of something funny, was that I was hoping that I thought it'd be fun for you guys. I was like, you know what? Write me. You guys go, like, if you can find it. I'm sorry I don't have the information. I wasn't even planning on talking about, but I don't have the information right now. So I don't know how many characters each one is, but I downloaded like Bumble, OkCupid, and Tinder. So I was like, I thought if you guys submit to me a bio that you think I should put out there, my favorite one I'll use. I'll actually let you be the writer. So that's just completely, and if I get two of them and they're both horrible, I'm still going to use the best of the two. Just because it's funny to me. But like I said, I'm really not looking to meet anybody. I'm so emotionally unavailable, guys. You have no idea. But I just figure I don't want to be that recluse. I'm almost 40, the birthday reminds you of that, but 37 now. And I don't want to die alone, right? Which is not a great motivation to get into a relationship. I'm not really looking to do that, but, if I don't try to put myself out there, I'm terrible at it. So I'm going to have to trip and fall a bunch of times. And so I'm sort of trying to get the ball rolling on that. I don't expect that I'm going to meet the person I'm going to be with, And at the same time, I'm trying to work on me, right? I know that the faster I get back into a relationship, or if that happens, I'm going to stop focusing on my own shit. And that's really, it really is important to me. That's why I'm doing this whole, going vegetarian thing. So yeah. All right. Listen, you guys are great. Send me in all that shit. Send me what you want to send me. Don't send me what you don't want to send me. I'm thinking of each and every one of you this week. You guys are the ones that I'm trying not to let down. As much as people who are paying for tickets, I don't want to let them down either. But, I want to, I got to report back to you guys next week. Those people can just, if it goes horrible, they can just shake their fucking heads and go, well, that guy fucking sucked. And that's it, right? I don't have to worry about it. But you guys, oh man, I gotta answer to my onesies. And I'm glad you guys are out there. So have a great week. I hope I do too. And we'll chat with you soon.